Hello, it's Red Knight here, the Heyday Farmer, and today's video is all about hotels. I'm going to show you how to build a hotel that looks just like this beautiful little design that you're looking at the moment. Now, when it comes to building a hotel, you are going to need a lot of resources. You're going to need diamonds, especially if you want to buy certain items. You are going to need vouchers, because again, some of these decorations will require a lot of vouchers, and you will require lots of coins. Now, if you are of a lower level, I would not recommend building an extravagant design, at least until you have saved up enough vouchers, diamonds, and coins to be able to be much more creative. The other thing that you're going to need is lots of land space. Now, that's one great thing about the game. They do give us a lot of land, so we do have the opportunity to expand areas, and then we can then choose how we would like to decorate or to set up the farm. Now, this video, as I said, is all about building a hotel, and what you're seeing at the moment is me ripping down the hotel, putting everything that I've used to make this beautiful hotel back into storage. Now, am I going to lose all of these items? No, I'm not, because storage is such a good place, and it's somewhere you needn't worry about for these items. Now, am I using only decoration? No. I'm also using some bushes and some trees for this design. Now, in this case, I'm going to be using some of the cherry bushes. The cherry trees, and some of the lemon trees, and some of the dead nectar bushes. Now, if you want to, you can use the live bushes. You can use dead trees as well. The choice is yours at the end of the day. You can look at the design I'm making and think, no, I don't like that one, but I would like it if I tweak this area. Now, I'm going to be using a lot of the outhouses. I'm going to be using some of the fountains, their hedgerows, lots of topiary, and many other decorations. A lot of the walls, some of the pagodas, and many other things. So do enjoy as I work my way through this video. I will explain what I'm doing and why I chose these components as I'm making this video. If you're looking for some other cool designs, you can see some examples attached to the end of the video as well. Now, these designs are not all mine, but they are from different players around the world. And if you would like to have your hotel designs copied or used in a future video, please do send them to me, and I will include them in any future video, because I'm so tempted to make these hotels into a cool playlist. In fact, I'm absolutely going to. Right, now where are the decorations sorted? Now, if you click on the till button down on the left hand side, you can open up this imagery here and then go down to your shop. And then once you scroll down, you can find lots of goodies that you can use. Now, the choice is yours how you wish to design a hotel. But the main thing you will require is at least a gazebo for the key point of the roof. Now, you can choose a square one, or you can choose, like I'm doing here, this beautiful little shape as well. Now, I kind of like that one. It looks a bit like a crown piece. Now, if I want to get another one that's 3,500 coins, and then another one after that will be 4,000. Now, the choice is yours when it comes down to the number of gazebos. You can have a single piece, you can use 2, 3, 4, or 5, or even many. But you need to think about the balance, how they will sync well together. Now, I've just bought another 2 here, and I'm just looking at it, thinking, will 3 go well together? Yes, no, I'm not so happy about that. I'm going to stick those back into storage. Now, would I lose the items? No, because storage, as I said, is such a cool place. But what I will need are some other roof pieces. Now, when it comes to the shop area, you can scroll from left to right, and you've got your quick option menus, and it makes it much easier with locating the items you want. So if you're looking for many of the wells which make good roof pieces, you need to go to the barrel and the bicycle, and then start bringing those out. Now, how much do they cost, I wonder? Well, I've got quite a few stored up, so let's bring them all out, then I can show you the price. Will you need coins, vouchers, or diamonds, I wonder? Let's have a chef there. Okay, you're going to need vouchers, so that's 1 blue voucher and 2 green. Now, this is what I mean by saving up. So how can you get vouchers in the game? Well, that's quite simple. You can do some truck orders, and occasionally you get vouchers for the jewelry. You can do your boats, and again you will get vouchers that way. There are lots of opportunities within the game of getting vouchers, so good luck with saving up your vouchers. And I would recommend saving them if you want to buy more items, because if you don't, then when you do run out of vouchers like I'm about to here, you will need to spend diamonds if you want to get any more, and 30 diamonds for 1 voucher. I think I will pass. Now, do I have enough roof pieces? I don't know. I will have to find out when I start putting my design together. Now, I was thinking when I was making this, should I use walls or should I use hedges? Now, my preference in some ways is using hedges, and I also like the golden walls. Now, again, golden walls will cost you a lot, and you will need to save up your money. Now, if you decide that golden walls are too expensive, you can go for the brown walls. They look just as good. Now, the great thing about the walls, when you do put one piece down next to another, it joins up quite nicely, so you can end up with some really interesting designs. Or you can put them at an angle, and then that way they won't join up with another piece, and again it creates a much more interesting feel to the actual hotel that you're making, especially if you're coming down the direction of the hotel in the vertical path, not the horizontal. Right, now holiday flowers I'm going to need later, but I will save those. Now, when you're actually looking to bring all the resources out that you want to use, don't put too many of the decoration pieces that you will use when you finally have set up your hotel. Save those till last. It's just the walls, the wells, and the outhouses and the pagoda that you will need to start with. And maybe you might need some of the fountains as well. But again, you need to think about this very, very carefully. Now, is it easy making a hotel? No, it's not. It's all down to trial and error. Put one piece against another, see how it looks. Try another one, see how it looks. Now, I've just built another hotel in addition to this one, which will be in my next video. And I started off with an initial design that I kind of liked. But again, when you run out of resources, you find that you're very limited. So I then tweaked it, and then I tweaked it again, and I'm really satisfied with my kind of church hotel that I've created for my next video. So I look forward to seeing that when I make that video too. Right, now I do love these fountain pieces because as they actually come down on the vertical plane again, it actually looks really good. Look at the way it's just coming down from the pagoda, straight down the center. Doesn't that look so cool? Now, if I move the pagoda, sorry, what am I saying pagoda? The gazebo in this case, further back up, you end up with a really nice little design. Now, if I put it off to the side, will it be good? If I put it to the center, is it better? Again, you need to pick and choose. I've seen some really cool designs where there've been one to the left, one to the right, and then a nice golden piece down the center. And I might just copy that one later. But that's what I'm not going to do this time. I'm going to have the wall coming off on the horizontal plane, then I'm going to use the wells as my roof piece. But how many roof pieces should I choose? Should I go with a single roof or should I go with a double roof? Now let's try those options out and see what they look like. So I'm going to contrast the left hand side with the right hand side and try a double and a single piece option just to see what it does look like at the end of the day. Now this is what I mean by trial and error. Try something, see if you like it. If not, then give it another go and try something a little different. Now I do like what I'm looking at the moment, so I must admit a single piece does look quite interesting. So as you can see as I'm zooming in here, it's pretty cool. But if I replace that wall and stuck a roof in its position, would it look any different? Now actually turning the gazebo from left to right doesn't really do much either. So it's not really much of a difference whichever way I have that. Now I'm sticking another wall down here. Let's have a look and see what that looks like. That kind of reminds me of an arrowhead. Yeah, that looks pretty nifty. Let's stick some more well pieces in there and see how they look. Okay, I'm now moving the golden walls out of the way. Why am I doing that? Well, as I said, I want to see what a double roof option looks like, maybe with a single one. Let's see how it matches. I also want to see how the roof pieces come as I come down the side of the fountain. So do I want to have two lots of fountains or the double roofs? Now I kind of like what I'm looking at there. That looks pretty good as well. Okay, now here you can see I'm adding in extra roof pieces. So I've got myself a nice little double down the side there already. That actually does look quite nice as well. Now what's your opinion? When you're looking at this, what do you think? Do you like the single option or do you like the double option? Let me know, because maybe when I do another video later, I can tweak this same design and try something else for you and see how it looks. Okay, now for me when I'm looking at this, okay, it does look nice with a double roof, but with that single roof by itself, just by the fountain, it kind of looks like it's too much. Now, my preference if I'm looking at it is the right hand side where I've got the golden wall. That actually looks much cooler, and I think I'm probably going to go that way. In fact, I know I will go that way because you've seen the initial design. But let's get some more of the outhouses and other parts of the decoration added down, because once I get those pieces added, then I can then contrast a little bit more and see what it looks like when I come off with the side pieces. Now the outhouses are probably the most important component you will need here after the roof, because the outhouses will give it that body effect. Now if you're not happy with the black slate roofs, you can go for the golden roof. Now if you do that, it's gonna cost diamonds. Now I must admit, I do love the golden design, and I've seen some really interesting ones. In fact, part of this video later you will see some of the golden parts added to some interesting roof designs. Let me know your feelings. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the brown side walls or the golden walls? Now I do wish I had an unlimited amount of diamonds. Then maybe at some stage I will be able to make those golden wall hotels for you. But that's not going to be for a while. My diamond usage has other priorities at the moment, which is cool because at the moment I'm quite happy making the brown side buildings. Right, now I'm adding in the outhouses as I said. I want to see what it looks like now with the wall pieces. Now when you put the outhouses down, you will get one facing a forward direction and one facing from a left to right direction. Now you do have a choice here. So if you're looking at the outhouses now, look at the way the roof pieces actually slant. Now could you create a design where they're actually coming off and they're different to each other? Well, I'm going to try that kind of option with the next hotel, just to see what it looks like with part of the design. Or maybe you prefer it where they all face in the same direction. Now one thing I would advise you to do when you're actually positioning these outhouses together, remember that you are building different sides of the wall, so you are going to have to angle those roof pieces anyway. So one will face from left to right, the other from right to left. Now I think that's enough outhouses, but if you want more, it's going to cost you more coins, and again the coinage does go up. Now I've got over 2 million coins here. Now my coinage is actually much less because I've spent quite a bit on buying some extra resources to make these videos, but I don't mind because the money soon comes back quickly. Now I think I've got enough pieces down there to start tweaking this a little bit more. Now ultimately I'm not satisfied with that left roof piece, so I'm probably going to change that completely. Now let's just get rid of some of those wells, put them back into stock for the moment, and I can bring them back out later. Put those walls back over there and see how that goes. Now the great thing about this decoration, just like with anything you place on the farm, if you can't place it in a specific position, it will tell you it's in the wrong location, and you then need to tweak and adjust it because it's glowing red. Now, okay, I've got the decoration behind another piece of decoration. Is that a problem? Does it mean that I can't see everything? Now, yes, I can't see everything, that's true, but I can see what's important. And for me, the most important part is actually seeing the cap of those walls. I think that's really, really key. Now, I've taken the wells away, and I'm now starting to put the outhouses in here. So am I going to stick with a single roof, or am I going to go for the triple roof here, like I've got down here on the right hand side? Now, as you can see, what I'm doing is just building up the wall pieces. Now, the more wall pieces you put in like this using the outhouses, it gives your building height. So a single one is like a single story, putting two, it's like a double story, three is a triple story, and basically it will allow you to create a building that's very, very tall, almost like an apartment building. Now, if you are going to come off with a leg piece, so let's say you're putting in an L-shaped building or even maybe a horseshoe-shaped building, remember that you don't have to have all pieces at the same height. You can adjust the height as well, just to give it again a more interesting effect. But it does really need to balance, because if it does balance, it looks quite ugly. Now, when you are looking at the other images later, you'll notice that all of the images really do go well together, and I do have some favorites. Okay, now looking at this from the side, you'll notice here that I'm building one leg of my building. So I put the wall into place there. I've now added some more of the golden walls at an angle piece, so on your vertical aspect there. And because they're not joining up with another piece, it does give it an interesting feel as well. Now, because I've actually done that, it's telling me that I can now come off at a different angle. So by doing this with the yellow pieces, it now gives me another wall, so I've got my L-shaped part of my building here. And doesn't that look pretty sweet? No, I think I need to lose that well piece. It doesn't quite go there. Sorry, not well piece, fountain. So put that one back into stock. Okay, now what do you think? So I've gone for the single roof. It looks quite interesting. So should I leave the triple roof and put those into perspective with more outhouses, or get rid of them? Okay, I'm going to get rid of them because I kind of like that single roof option there. So it now means I've got an empty space, which means I need to put my outhouses into that building design. Now, I do love these outhouses. It gives my country farm a really interesting feel. Now, I must admit, I haven't used an outhouse in many, many years. Okay, for some of my viewers, you are quite young, so you've probably never experienced going outside and using a wooden building for a toilet. Now, if you do travel around the world, like I've done and many of my friends have done, please do check under the toilet seats when you are using the outhouses, because spiders do like living outside in these places. So make sure you flush it, and you will probably find that the flush is not a handle on the side of the cistern. It's actually a lever kind of option that's hanging down from the ceiling. So you pull the cord that's hanging down and it will allow you to flush it. Now, very, very different from Japanese toilets. Japanese toilets, you will need to squat. Now, if you're not able to squat, don't worry. They do have some of the Western style indoor toilets as well. But again, the choice is yours as to which one you use when you're visiting places. Now, another thing you might want to consider if you are traveling in Japan, which surprised me when I first came here. Now, if I'm in the UK, many toilets often have the hand towels or hand dryers. Now, that's not always the case in many toilets here. You will need to carry handkerchiefs with you. Now, I used to hate getting handkerchiefs as a Christmas present as a young lad, but I'm so glad I did because I brought them all with me, and they are really useful in Japan for drying your hands. And you just carry a handkerchief in your pocket. When you need to dry your hands after you've washed them, you can dry them and just move on very, very quickly. Now, that's not the case with every toilet. Quite a lot of toilets do these days have the hand dryers, and they're quite nifty. They just blow air, and as you slide your hands up and down into the blower, it will just blow the water straight off and down. It's very rare to find a towel style dryer in a toilet. Now, I've set up my building design here using the outhouses, the fountains, the wells, and the gazebo and the golden wall. Now I'm starting to add in the rest of my decoration. And in this case, I've gone for the plain hedgerow, and I've got quite a lot stored up. Now, there are two kinds of hedgerows. There's this one, and then there's the one that has the little flowers built into it. So you can pick and choose which one you want to do. Now, it's a bit of a challenge to see what piece is behind, but like I said, when you're actually sliding the pieces, it will tell you in red if it won't go. And basically, before you let it go, it does show you that it's connecting, so that's quite useful as a little bit of a tip as well. And I do like the way that it blends in very nicely with the caps of the yellow wall pieces. So I'm getting a really happy feel about this hotel that I'm creating. Now, I'm going to come a little bit further down, and then I'm going to again take a right angle and come back down, so I'm enclosing my hotel into a complete box section. Now, you have the choice if you want to do that. You do not need to put in hedgerows. You might want to use fence pieces. You might want to use walls. You could even use some of the berry bushes and create again a high wall design, like some of the imagery you're going to see later. And I must admit, I do love some of the designs that I've actually included into this video. Right, now I'm starting to feel strongly satisfied. I like that corner piece. I'm going to balance it up on the left hand side as well in a minute, but let's just put some of these trees back into the corner. Now, I chose to have 3 cherry trees and 4 dead nectar bushes because I do like the feel. Now, why did I choose the dead nectar bushes? Well, basically I didn't have any axes at the time to chop down those bushes. So I thought, okay, I might as well use them since I'm making this design. And I then added them to this hotel, and I thought, hey, that looks pretty nifty. So I left them in place. So please do use a lot of the dead trees and bushes because they do look pretty sweet sometimes. Imagine using 2 dead, fully grown cherry trees as a kind of archway, as though you're walking into this area. It can create quite a nice spooky feel and effect to it as well. Okay, look at that. Doesn't it look good? Okay, I need to put some more hedges in on this left-hand side, as I said. Okay, I'm using the bushes just to give me a good guide or indication of where I should be turning that hedgerow. Now, in this area, I am quite limited for space because I'm only able to go so far to the borders of this area. So I can't get much closer to the path, and I can't get any closer to the trees than I actually am. Now, I'm kind of happy about that because it does give me a nice little green feel around the edges of my hotel, almost as though I've been taking care of my lawn area. Okay, I think I'm getting very, very close to having enough pieces. Ooh, I've got 3 left in stock. Isn't that pretty sweet? Just enough. Okay, I do like what I'm looking at there. Doesn't it balance very, very well? Now what I need to add in here is, oops, I can't put that one there, I need to put it back. Now what I need to add in here is something to go in the center, just in front of the hotel, to fill in that dead space there. Now this is where the topiary is really useful, and this is where other decoration is really handy. But again, you need to pick and choose which one suits your tastes. Now I've seen people use swimming pools in this area, deck chairs, and I think that does look quite interesting. Now that's not my cup of tea, as they say. I've also seen people use some tractors. Now the tractors are quite nice. Maybe if you had two of them, then I think you could end up with a nice left and right aspect here. But I only have the one, and I don't really want to be spending any more coins on another tractor piece that will not really give me much benefit. I'd rather use the coins to pay for other things. Now at some stage in the future, I am going to get some of the swinging chairs, because the swinging chairs do really give some fantastic wall designs. But again, I'm limited on resources at the moment, so that's a future design concept. But I have included some of those hotel and roof images later in the video. In fact, look towards the end of the video for those designs using those swinging chairs, and I do like them. Now for this hotel, I haven't used a lot of the wells, but you can decide how many you want to. Now the wells are really useful for the pyramid style roofs, where you end up with a nice little black slide coming down in two different directions, and it really does look good if you're using the gazebos as a nice little centerpiece. Now I've chosen two topiary, and now I'm starting to use the holiday flowers. Now, do I have enough in stock? Yes, I do. Will I have to buy any more? No. Now, some of these decorations you may not have, because it will depend on the season. For example, there are summer decorations, there are winter, there are Halloween decorations, and you can only buy specific decorations during that season. So if you're after the swimming pools as an example, it might only be during summer. If you're looking for some of the snow globes, it's only during winter. So when you do have the resources during those periods, do spend the money and buy that decoration for later use, because they are really useful. Now you may think, oh my god, 25 diamonds, oh my god, look at the coins for that. But at the end of the day, it's not really real money you're using. You get the diamonds free within the game. You get the coins free within the game. Unless, of course, you feel that you need to spend real cash to get those diamonds and coins. But that's down to your own specific playing style. Personally, I've never bought diamonds or coins, and at the moment, I don't feel inclined to. I'm quite happy just playing and getting the resources that way. Now look at that. I've continued with my kind of like arrow shape here at the end. I've used the flowers with the fire pieces, and I'm quite satisfied with them. But I now need to position those topiary, so let's push them to the left and to the right. Okay, I think that's a nice ending piece there for the hedgerow, don't you? Yes, that looks very, very good. Now something's missing. I need to hide that a little bit more. Okay, and I think the lemon trees will do very, very well for this. That gives it a nice little cap to the fire pieces. It also hides where those flowers are ending as well. And it gives me a nice little finished effect just down on the left hand right hand side where I've got that decoration. But I want something more. Now I do love my flowers and I do love roses, so I'm going to be using those bushes, and I will also be using some fence pieces here as well. But how many will I need, I wonder? Well, we'll have to wait and see. So let's grab some of those fences, bring them on out, and then see how they go. Now I do really love the fence pieces. I like the fact that they do join together and do create some interesting designs. Now I could use the fence pieces down here in this corner, but as I'm putting them there, I really don't like the imagery I'm looking at. So I'm going to use them to the left hand side and to the right hand side. Now it's kind of okay. Now if I could put something in between them, maybe if I captured myself a fox or something, then that might be nice. but as a nice little standalone piece coming down from the dead nectar bushes, and then again creating that kind of L shape which will then balance my design for the hedgerows. I think that will go very, very nicely. Just look at it. Is that so cool? Right, let's balance it up on the left hand side. Now, as you're watching me create this hotel, what are your viewpoints? Do you like what you're looking at? Do you not like it? Do you feel that you have the space or sufficient area to actually create a hotel yourself? Would you like to try one of these designs? Do you want me to change it? Would you like me to come and look at your hotel on your farm and maybe give you my viewpoints and to talk about that as well? Maybe I could create a nice little hotel review playlist to go with this playlist I'm creating on hotels. We can get some really interesting videos built up here. And I think this will be something nice for me to work towards as I progress through the game. Now, I was strongly thinking as well to actually use some of these golden statues, but I feel maybe the golden statues, I'm not quite ready for those at the moment. And that's one reason why I went for some bushes here. In fact, as I said, I'm going to go for the rose bushes. Now, which color should I go for? Now, I could use the same color, but I do like it when I blend them in with a different color. So what's a nice one? Ooh, orange. Orange and gold with the fireplace and the red. I think that will blend in very well. Let's have a look. Yes, that looks good. I do like the way that that's looking there. Do I want that as a centerpiece? Okay, it looks nice, but I want it over here by the doorway. Now, when I put the tree back, it's kind of hidden, but it doesn't matter. See, even though it's hidden, I can still see it, and it caps it off really, really well. So it doesn't feel cluttered, and I kind of like that a lot. Now, I must admit, I was tempted to take it further back and then maybe go off back past round the back of the hotel and give myself this nice little orange rose tree bush as it's moving back behind the trees down the left and right hand side. But no, in the end I decided just to stick with the two pieces. Now I want some more. I want something else in here, something that's big and is going to take up the space, and I think this is going to be a wonderful centerpiece. So the layered topiary, but I want something on the left and the right hand side, something that's really beautiful, and I love butterflies. In fact, there's a very special person I know that loves butterflies too, and these are for you, young lady, because I know you would enjoy them. So 2 beautiful butterflies for a special friend. And look at that, they look like eyepieces now, don't they? Oh yeah, doesn't that design look sweet? Now I'm in the finishing stages here, so I just need to add the rest of those rose bushes that I was wanting to do so. Now, when it comes to building your own hotel, as I said, the key thing to remember is that you are going to need a lot of resources. If you don't have the resources, please don't attempt anything extravagant. Keep it simple to start with. Now, there are some simple designs added to the images a little bit later, and some more complex ones. The choice is yours as to how you want to do it. Do start buying the pieces gradually and start building up your stock of decoration and ornaments, because you never know when you want to use them, and it doesn't hurt so much if you're spending the odd 25 or 30 diamonds here or the odd 10,000 or 20,000 coins here and there. Once you've actually expanded your farm and you're thinking, what can I do? Okay, do be creative, decorate it. Okay, remember that Heyday is a slow game. It's something that you can develop over time. Something that you can actually maintain and enjoy. Right, okay, I'm now finished and I do love my hotel. Now, what's your viewpoint? Do you like what you're looking at? Let me know. Okay, right, now that's it. and I've come to the end of making and rebuilding this hotel after I ripped it apart. Now if you come and look at my farm now, you will see a completely different building. But if you would like me to build your hotel, your image could be here in the center instead of mine. It could look something like this, with a nice little Christmassy feel, with a nice little crucifix there for a church. This is the initial design that I was kind of looking at before, with a bit of a combination of this one. So Cozy Heyday, I kind of copied your hotel, and I do like what I looked at. Now I would like to make this one, and I'm using a very similar aspect with my next hotel. Look at this one here using the swimming pools. Now there are a lot more images coming up in this video. If you would like me to view and look at your hotel, let me have your images. If you would like me to review your farm hotel or even your town hotel, let me know and I will come and have a look and give you my viewpoints and maybe show the world as well. It can be something small, it can be something extravagant. Right, now that's it for this video. I've enjoyed making this hotel, as I said, and I'm going to see you all later. Now don't forget to subscribe, and do have a happy heyday and enjoy building your own hotels. See you all now, goodbye.